Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Well, there's a lot of moves going on in the WNBA, trades, lots of conversation. You can find that out there with people talking about Jewel Lloyd, talking about Kelsey Plum, Brittany Griner, Natasha Cloud, Vandersloot. I guess we can go on and on. As far as the Indiana Fever is concerned, we have Kelsey Mitchell. She re-signed, as we covered yesterday on what I coined Kelsey Mitchell Day. Well, as it was Kelsey Mitchell Day, I didn't get to touch on something that I do want to touch on, and that is the issue with Satou Sabally. She has made it clear that she has a priority in terms of the team. She wants the Dallas Wings to trade her to. Remember, she was cored, but she made it clear even before that she had played her last game in Dallas. And of course, many people who are Indiana Fever fans would like to have Satou Sabally come to Indiana. Of course, a lot of conversation out there now is that that's absolutely not happening. I did a video about how her game could help the team. This was some time ago. And then her first couple games with Unrivaled were not good at all. And so people started being like, oh, I don't think we want her. And I did a video, The Tale of Two Satous, and talked about it. And it's a whole different game, the 3-on-3, the 5-on-5. I mean, some things translate, but overall, I can't make a decision about whether I want her on my team based on how she performs in a 3-on-3 league that no one's ever seen before, right? So I was like, calm down, let's check it out. But I want to talk about more of a concern. More of a concern for me is not so much if she doesn't play as well in a couple games for Unrivaled as she has done in the WNBA. And all of this might be a totally moot point because the talk is that she's the word on the street, as they say, is that she doesn't even want to come to Indiana. And some fans don't want her. And who knows what's going to happen there? Looks like maybe New York with her sister. I really don't know. But I do want to say this. Once I heard what her main priority is in the team she goes to, I wasn't feeling Satou Sabally coming to the Fever as much. I mean, I wasn't like, oh, we got to get Satou. I mean, it never was. But I thought we'd like to have Satou. That was my thought. But after hearing her comments, I was sort of like, maybe not. We'll see. But let's look at what she has prioritized. Here I am on SI.com, and the headline is ESPN report makes Satou Sabally's WNBA free agency priorities clear. Dallas Wings star Satou Sabally has one thing top of mind when deciding her next WNBA team. Article written by Grant Young. So here it is. She's made it extremely clear. Goes on to say several destinations would seem to make sense for Sabally, at least as it pertains to her fit on the court. And one of these is Indiana Fever. Okay, but after I scroll down, I see this. I'm told that she's going to be starting some conversations and some meetings with teams imminently, Andrews said. And let me make sure we know who Andrews is. Andrews is from ESPN, Kendra Andrews. I'm told that she's going to be starting some conversations and some meetings with teams imminently, Andrews said. Sabally's number one thing that she's looking for in free agency is great organizational infrastructure. And in case one is going, what does that mean? Well, Andrews didn't leave us hanging. Apparently, that means facilities. That means resources. And she has been very outspoken about this at Unrivaled, where she is playing right now. And there is that post. And we don't need to play the video because I just read to you what Kendra Andrews says. This goes on to say this pertains to the Fever because it was announced earlier this month that they would be beginning to build a state-of-the-art performance and practice facility that's going to be 108,000 square feet and is valued at $78 million. While the facility won't be complete until before the 2027 season, perhaps this can convince Sabally that Indiana will be the future team for her, even if her initial meetings are reportedly with the Phoenix Mercury and New York Liberty. I don't know what she meant. I don't know if it's because of that state-of-the-art facility that Fever will bring. I imagine the Fever facility is pretty good already, but yeah, it's going to be really good. But that's not what I want to talk about. Not really. I mean, it figures in. But listen, if your number one priority is your facility, I don't know if you're fit for the Indiana Fever. Don't get me wrong, please. Nothing fun about being in Connecticut and maybe having to share facility with a child having a birthday party or whoever's having a birthday party. Not cool. People want to have facilities, right? People want to have resources. I get it. So whether you don't want to be in Chicago because of the mess they have there in terms of resources and facilities, whatever, I totally get it. However, this is about winning championships. You are years into your career now. The kind of player I want on the team would be a player who says, I'm looking to play with a first-class organization who values players. And yes, that can figure into facilities. So hear me out. Let me finish. I'm looking to play for a first-class organization who values the players, who has a mindset for the players to win, who has a coaching staff who is able to help them win. I'm looking for a mindset that says championship. Now, she's been playing with Dallas and she wanted out for whatever reason. Enough is enough. A new coach coming in didn't do it. She wants out. So I'm just saying, if as I evaluate the talent out there, if your number one concern is that you get to have a massage in between practices, to me, that's not the mindset I want. That's gravy. That's important. I get it. But if that's how you're shopping, let me go see what the facilities look like. Nobody wants to play in a dump. But what do you mean that that's your number one priority? As a person who loves the game, that's your number one priority. For myself, as a person who's observed the game, who's coached on the lower level, obviously, but still, give me players with passion who talk championship first, who talk team chemistry first. We get that down. The second most important thing maybe can be, okay, what do the facilities look like? But I need to hear championship first. I need to hear that you're saying this is what I bring to the table. So what does Satou Sabally bring to the table? We're going to look at some of her stats. Over here on ESPN.com, we see in 2024, and mind you, she's been injured a lot, which is something that people talked about. I still say, hey, bring her on, right? You heard, here's video footage of how good she is. So yeah, but I understand. A lot of people said Adrienne, but the injuries. So we have to keep that in mind too, as she's shopping for facilities. Anyway, 17.9 points in 2024, 6.4 rebounds, 5.0 assists, and 1.3 steal. That was in 2024 in her regular season stats. Now, in her career, she has had 15.7 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1.1 steal, a little more than half a block, 2.5 turnovers, 41.8 field goal percentage, 33.6 3-point percentage, and 84.8 free throw percentage, and not typically in deep foul trouble. So that's what she brings to the table. So this is what I want to hear. Hey, this is what I bring to the table. I'm looking at the players on that team where we can complement one another. So in this, my 6th year coming up in the league, that I know we can mesh and we can get the job done. We want to win it all. That's what I want to hear. But what I heard was you talked about something important, no doubt. So please don't get in the comments and say, don't you understand? Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying that's your first priority. I got to wonder where your priorities really are. I got to wonder where your head is. She's a really good player. She can stay well. She's going to serve someone really well. And maybe it will be Indiana. And that would be great. But I just got to say, like I said already, that's your number one priority. Then I don't mind passing and getting someone who has that mindset that the Indiana Fever obviously has. Someone said in the comments the other day, the Indiana Fever has shown us step by step how they want to build a program. They've let us see every step of the way, from letting Christy Sides go and letting Lynn Dunn be moved to kind of, advisory position, they're calling it, bringing in Amber Cox, bringing in Kelly Crosskoff, bringing in Stephanie White, bringing in other coaches who were in Connecticut, bringing in again Kelsey Mitchell, Keith Porter, and you talking about I need some kind of infrastructure. That's just my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. And I know people are going to disagree with me. Once again, if I'm looking to build a team to win a championship, if I'm going to bring somebody on, if I'm going to trade for somebody, it's going to have to be someone who thinks championship first and the rest is gravy. I said what I said.